All right, hey guys, it is time for the JP News, the weekly JP News, tonight at 11 with Umber Rays. Anyway, all right, so what do we got this week? Well, we're gonna break the bad news right away. There's no GoldenEye music in the background this time. Oh, and there's going to be no Strike Esper again. Sad days for all of us. All right, so what is JP getting? First off, we are getting I don't know if this is the last of the intermissions or not. I don't think it will be, but it very well could be because we're getting very close to the 3rd anniversary, and the 3rd anniversary is, I believe, when the next storybook is supposed to happen. So this might be the last of the intermissions, and yeah, okay, fine. Moving on. Next up, we have a raid revival coming back. So a bunch of equipment will be returning. I just trying to bring up the list very quickly here. Here we go. Sorry, you can get all of the old vision cards. That's what that one is for. The ones that are fightable are the deer, the earth deer, the kraken, the devil chimera, and tetrasylphiid. So wind, dark, water, and soil, with a weakness to different damage types, 2 to slashing, the earth deer, as well as the devil chimera. The Kraken will be weak to magic, and Tetrasylphiid will be weak to shooting. So choose the one you're best at, go at it, and good luck, have fun. As for the pieces of equipment, there's just a massive list of stuff, so much so that not even really worth talking about. Just choose whichever one you kind of need and go for it, kind of thing. All right, next we have a actual event this week, not just a recycled content, although I am kind of expecting us to get a fair amount of recycled content until we get to anniversary, which will probably be a deluge of a fair amount of new stuff and hopefully some new systems to spruce up the game. But Guild Raid this week will be happening on JP. Of course, score is always really important, and these are the ones we will be fighting this time. Brachiodawn, or the Dinosaur Summon, which is Fire Attribute, which is weak to CT down and Agility down, so that's going to be our water units. So probably specifically looking at Perene, for example, but yeah. Leviathan is the second one, Water Elemental, CT down and Agility down. Next up, we have Golem, who is Earth, so for wind units, which is you are able to slow him. Europa will be Thunder, so for Earth, which also can be slowed. And last but not least, the Ice Dragon Freezes will be for Fire Elemental characters and CT down and Agility down. So 2 slow bosses, 3 Agility down / CT down bosses, and what I also find kind of interesting here, just looking at this list of stuff that we will be fighting, is that no light or dark this time. Light or dark have been pretty consistent elements in these guild raids, so finally light gets a little bit of a rest. Just scrolling down, doesn't look like there's too much else to talk about here, just that you will be able to do it. All right, and next up, here is our new vision card. This is the thing that I personally have been waiting for to see exactly what we will be getting. And first off, it's not an esper vision card. Water esper not happening this time, and neither is a strike esper. But some nice artwork, as per always, is never too much of a miss. And here we're looking at a job-based vision card. So the job types that it will be focusing on, excuse me. First off, sword will be the first type. This is focused, I think, around the evasion pool of characters such as Violet and whatnot. Second will be fist, go figure. And last but not least, is Mace. So this is, first of all, I just want to say, flavor-wise, pretty cool. But has both Rafu and Perene on the vision card, as well as Lucio, and those are the three characters that match up really well to this vision card, and that's kind of cool. I think that based on the story, the fact that Perene and Rafu are friends, it warms my heart, just like the Ice Archer's vision card, where you see Rafal and Eliza interacting with each other, and I like seeing friendly vision cards. As for what this vision card does, kind of interesting here. We have Reaction Block. This is the first time on a JP vision card. I say that because I'm not 100% sure on Global, but I don't think we've seen it on Global yet. Unless it's on the Lara Croft card. But Reaction Block on here, and Strike Attack up across the entire party. HP up for maxing out the vision card. And as for the bestowed effects, we are looking at Attack up, and I want to say that is range resist. I do believe I double checked, but if I did make a mistake, I'm just misremembering / reading the kanji wrong, then oops, might be shooting resist. I think it's range attack or AoE resistance. You know what? I'm even going to just check right now while I ramble. This vision card is least, how to put it in like the easiest way, is yeah, it's area attack. I thought I had it, but I don't know. I doubled over stuff quite a few, so there you go. AoE resistance, double checked. All right. Talking about this vision card, though, this vision card is particularly one of the vision cards, job-based vision cards, that I am the least impressed with, because while it does cover 3 types of weapons here, it's essentially very effectively a strike-based vision card, and very, very little can do that. Reaction block across the entire party, provided that it would be, 50% or imagine just 100%. I'm not saying that isn't broken. I'm just saying that would be make this a musket vision card. This is weird because in terms of recommending it, most of the party isn't really getting anything, especially if you're trying to do a combination of these 3 characters. The only one who, preemptively not seeing Rafu at this point, unless her damage comes out as strike. This vision card's really, really hard to get too excited about, because again, it's just like, okay, like it doesn't benefit Lucio. Well, I guess Lucio does have strike. Maybe Rafu is going to be a strike type damage dealer. Maybe Mace will finally become more that style, even if she is a mage. I don't know. Rafu is very interesting, and this vision card may be better just upon hindsight. But if Rafu really is the third of the banners for these for another story too, then this vision card on JP is just kind of a roll of the dice. See what you get. It might end up working out to be insanely powerful. It might not end up being insanely powerful. That being said, I do see some places where it's just generally good. Shutting down counters is not a bad thing. That is very, very, very strong, especially when we're looking at characters like Glassy, which just released on Global, by the way. Hope it went well for everyone. Reaction block can be really important. Currently, Perene has access to 50% via her crafted weapon, and this is probably the other 50% to make it all the way to 100%, which is good. It is really good. Max 8, but like if you look at this, max HP and strike is really just the Perene specifically card, with maybe Lucio getting some use out of it, but again, that's not his major damage type, and Rafa being a question mark. So what is the team we could build with this that could potentially work? Well, interestingly enough, I do think that this could be a really good mono strike vision card across multiple elements. But really, it's kind of a combination that I've been going back to and doubling over in my mind for a while, which is, I'll just show kind of the party that I am thinking of. Let's wrong tab. Oops. Which is this team. Now, this team for me is not finished yet, but I've really been trying to get Snow in combination with Perene, both because they share the same damage types and because they're generally pretty tanky and strong characters with fairly good speed and everything. Currently, like, I'm still working on trying to get a TMR ready for Snow because he just got to 115, so I finally considered using him. But across the board, like, there is combinations here that could be potentially really interesting when combining in another sword. If you wanted to go so far, like, I've talked about this vision card a couple of times in the past video, which is effectively just a, you know, a strike-based vision card with human killer on it, which is, needless to say, really good and actually very strong. And there is a third strike character that could potentially go in this party. I mean, Maces aside and Lucio aside for a second, and other strike units, it does have the potential of working across Snow, Snow, Perene, and last but not least, one of our new characters that hasn't appeared on Global yet, but this character as well could be a potentially interesting, like, triple strike-based teams, especially since strike doesn't really have the most, and this is quite a variety of elements you could go across. As for other elements to potentially make this new vision card work, let me just think here. I don't really feel good about lightning, just taking a look at it really quickly. Although theoretically you could even combine the vision card in with something like lightning, for example, and just try and make it a really weird elemental combination. There are some, of course, strike characters that in between that are in certain places on the light element, but potentially dark with mace could be a little more interesting, maybe, I don't know. And the one that I think element that actually really benefits potentially from this vision card might be fire. Fire could use a little bit of a boost dealing with reaction abilities and whatnot. And if it is the correct grouping I'm thinking of, you're looking at Raldor, who recently got buffed. I do believe she uses maces, right? Fire, Glassy, and Mont. I'm theory crafting for exactly, because these job vision cards are always an interesting puzzle of how well they work. And of course, there could be theoretically more fist-based characters coming in the future. Snow has been one of the top characters on JP for a long time now. So this vision card is at least worth thinking about in terms of the snow and water combination, which seems to just get more and more traction as we are continually moving on. But I think one of the things that will really decide how good this vision card is whether or not the numbers are quite impressive and exactly what kind of percentages we're getting here. HP being the max should be fairly decent. Reaction block kind of needs to be 50% for it to be really noticeable. And the strike being secondary means that it is almost certainly going to be lower. Unless they really want to push strike, which they should. Cool. Strike is probably going to be less than the Tifa vision card, which makes this vision card also potentially less appealing. Yesterday's video, I showed that Perene could potentially dish out a fair amount of damage, and this vision card will push her to being capable of doing even more damage. It's just, it really depends on the numbers here, and Anniversary could just shift it quite a bit further in a lot of different directions. So yeah, also one last thing I'm going to mention. I know I've mentioned a lot of things, but it is a sword, and we don't know exactly what Lucia is, what new Lucia's damage type will be, and we don't know what necessarily if Reagan will fall into a class, well, the sword class for this job type as well. So lots of question marks. This vision card is interesting, especially if you're a Perene fan like I am. But as I can't say that it's just the slam dunk that I wanted it to be. Drop 10k no matter what and get this vision card. Job-based vision cards are starting to get there and starting to propose interesting ideas. I just don't think we're just yet. Anyway, thanks for watching. Take care and see you next time. And for people who missed it from the last video, I don't know if it's picking up on the microphone. See ya.